Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here welcoming you all in today's lecture. So in previous lecture we have discussed how potential difference is very important to produce current. Okay, and what we have discussed in that topic, that when the potential difference is applied then only the current will flow. So students, if more potential difference will be there, more current will flow. If less potential difference is there, less current will flow. That means the current is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor. And this is the law given by Ohm. Ohm is name of one scientist. He has given one law. According to this law, the current flowing in a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends if the temperature remains constant. So whenever you are writing Ohm's law, if you forget this line, if the temperature remains constant, that means you are not going to get full marks, because this is the condition for Ohm's law. If you have been asked what is the condition of Ohm's law, so the condition of Ohm's law is that the temperature should remain constant. If the temperature of conductor is constant, then only this law will be applicable. If the temperature varies, if the temperature changes with time, this law will not be applicable. Okay, that time it will not be directly proportional. Once again, let me read it for you, because it is a very important law. Okay, so you all must by heart that. According to this law, the current flowing in a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends if the temperature remains constant. Now, how we can prove this law? To prove this law, we can make a circuit like this. Here you can see XY is a conductor. XY is a conductor. This is voltmeter. I have told you voltmeter is used to measure the voltage, and it is connected in parallel in a circuit. Then here this is ammeter. Ammeter is used to measure the current. Ammeter is used to measure the current. It is connected in series in the circuit. Then this is key or switch. Then this is battery. When the key is closed, that means switch is on. This time the current is flowing in the circuit. If arrow diagram is there, that means current is flowing. From where? From positive to negative. So this is the circuit to prove Ohm's law. In this circuit, one conductor is there in which current flow, one battery is there which is used to apply potential difference, and what we have to prove here, that current is directly proportional to potential difference. For that we need some devices to measure current and voltage. So these are here to measure. This is to measure current, this is to measure voltage. Okay, the potential difference applied by this battery is called voltage, and its unit is volt. Okay, SI unit is volt, and the SI unit of current is ampere. So how to perform this activity? So in this circuit, when the current is flowing, we will measure the value of voltage, and with that voltage we will measure the value of current. Then we change the value of voltage. Suppose we are increasing voltage, so we increase voltage, and according to that what is the value of current, that we will note. Then again we change the value of V, then again we note the value of current according to that, and that all values we will note in this table. Okay, suppose for 1 volt the current is 1.5. Okay, I am telling you the hypothetical data. For 2 volt the current is 3 ampere. For 3 volt, current is 4.5 ampere, like that. Okay, when we increase the volt, there will be increment in current also. Then we will find out the formula value of V upon I. So V upon I means 1 upon 1.5. That means 10 upon 15. So what will be its value? Its value will be 0.66 bar something. When we find out the value of V upon I for this one, then also it will come 0.66 bar. For next one also 0.66 bar. So what we have got here? We got two things. First, by increasing the voltage, current is also increasing. Okay, that means current is directly proportional to V. And second thing, the ratio V upon I is constant. Okay, and one more thing we have to remember, that this we achieve only when the temperature is constant. So from Ohm's law, V is directly proportional to I, or V equals to constant into I, or V upon I equals to constant, and that constant we write as R, or V equals to IR. You all have to remember this formula, it is very important. Here R is called resistance. This constant R we take, this is called resistance. Why V upon I is constant? We have seen here that when we have find out the value of V upon I, we are getting one constant value. So that's why here V upon I equals to constant, and this constant we take as R, where R is the resistance. Or we can write it like this, R equals to V upon I. Okay, so resistance equals to voltage upon current, and unit of R is ohm. So what is the value of formula for ohm? 1 ohm equals to 1 volt upon 1 ampere. Okay, then from this equation we can also write I equals to V upon R. So here students, you can see, if we put R equals to constant, so I is directly proportional to V. That means in increasing the value of V, the value of I also increase. But if we put V constant, then I is inversely proportional to R. Inversely proportional means if the value of R increases, the value of I decreases. So I and R, this is current and this is resistance, they both are inversely proportional to each other. That means if one value will increase, other value will decrease. Okay. Now one very important thing, when two values are directly proportional to each other, the graph between them is always a straight line. So when from that table we take the values and plot a graph between V and I, we will get one straight line. Okay, if we are getting straight line, that means Ohm's law is proved. But if by the values of V and I we are not getting a straight line, that means Ohm's law is not verified here. That conductor is not following Ohm's law. Okay, if any conductor is following Ohm's law, it is called ohmic conductor. If it is not following Ohm's law, it is called non-ohmic conductor. So how to find out whether any conductor is following Ohm's law or not? Just you take the values of V and I and plot a graph. If graph is straight line, it is ohmic conductor, otherwise not. Or you take the ratio of V upon I. If it is constant, then also it is ohmic, otherwise not. So for today's lecture, this is it students. Goodbye, take care and do some productive work.